What's up, YouTube dweebs? Welcome to the Nonverbal Honors channel, where today we're going to be checking out The Cost and their new song, Her Eyes, featuring Serj Tankian. And I know I mispronounced his last name. I'm so sorry. But this is actually pretty cool that Serj is on this song. Serj, for those of you who don't know, is the singer for System of a Down. For those of you who don't know the band The Cost, they're El Estepario Siberiano's band. El Estepario Siberiano, one of the most iconic drummers on YouTube right now. The guy's a legend, and it's actually really impressive what he does. So I'm going to be talking about this song. They released it 2 weeks ago, so by no means am I on the hype train or whatever, just trying to get this out to get some views or whatever. But I've actually listened to this and digested it, and I watched the video, so I'm not going to be reacting. I know there's a lot of people out there who just sit there and watch these videos and go, wow, cool, wow. And then that's it, and they don't give any insight. But this is different. I like to dive just a little bit deeper, give my thoughts, kind of, analyze some of the ideas going on and what makes it special, what makes it worth listening to, and just kind of give my thoughts as, just an average Joe musician. For those of you who have subscribed to this channel, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I believe we're at about 150 subs right now, which is awesome. I never thought I'd even get past 5, so thank you. I have other videos where I play the drums to video game soundtracks. I review the other songs that The Cost has put out, such as Into the Drone and Not For Me. So if you want to check those out, feel free to, but you probably won't, which is cool too. You probably just want to watch this video, and that's totally fine. I'm going to stop blathering, and I'm going to get on with reviewing this song. And we'll play the first few seconds. I'm going to be pausing this throughout the video, and we'll play the beginning, and then I'll just kind of give my first insights on why I think what's going on here is actually really cool. So yeah, let's just start her up, baby, and go.
It's a mistake to move forward and a mistake to move back. A mistake to move left and a mistake to move right. A mistake to move forward and a mistake to move back. A snake, a snake, a snake, a snake.
Okay, so to start off, already this song has a much more quote-unquote genty vibe to me. You've got the heavy leaning on that low chord with the jabs, the dun 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 dun, and it'll be a lot more prevalent later in the song, especially when we get to the break. But I've just noticed this song has a much different feel than their first song, Not For Me, which was kind of more, had a 90s kind of grunge kind of vibe, just a little more maybe Soundgarden-esque, I don't know. Their second song, what was it called? Into the Drone, much more kind of in your face, metal, like hard hitting, really cool. This, it feels again kind of in its own world, which I think is awesome. It's like it shows that these guys are really flexible in the styles of music they can bounce between and still feel cohesive. So again, so that's one thing that's cool about the song already. What is also cool is the video itself is an actual music video telling a story, like an artistic story. Their other videos were great. But it was more of just the band and kind of introducing the band, showing how they play their instruments, and having some cool effects and maybe some cutaway scenes to like nature. So already this video is setting itself apart, that it's sending an artistic message. It's got a different feel than the other songs, and it's got Serj from System of a Down, and it's just all these things kind of combining that make this song special already. And I think it's really cool to see a band kind of progress like this, song by song. I mean, not that any song is better than the other, but it's like they are getting better as a band, and you can kind of see their evolution. So let's keep digging into it, baby.
Stay out of sight, deep in a hole, but we're roaming in our sleep, loaded to the teeth, cold and dark. The thunder.
Real quick, you notice the drums changed from a more kind of straight, on the on beat type of a beat, where it's like, this isn't the beat, but it was like, whereas now it's switched to more of kind of a disco kind of dance kind of beat, where the hi-hat's on the off beat, where it, again, those aren't the exact beats, but I'm just doing that to illustrate my point. And he's switching between these different grooves to give distinction in the sections of the verse. So really creative drumming. I love it.
Living the black sky apart, nowhere to run till they blow, destroy the stars to liberate our homeland. Stay till we die. Born again and so together for the day.
I also love how the verse in the video is kind of like industry, city, the hustle and bustle of life. And then it's like dancing astronauts, dancing lady in the supermarket, fun. I think that ties into the theme of the video itself, but I'll get into that later. I just thought it was kind of quirky and fun, but yeah, onward. So Serj, his voice is so perfect for this song. Like they nailed it on who they decided to collaborate with this song. They really did. And I think that's so cool that they did it with Serj. But I'm not the biggest, System of a Down fan. I'm a huge fan of Toxicity, that album, of course. But beyond that, I don't know a lot of their discography. But I do love Serj as a singer, and his choice of melody in here is so cool. It's very unique, and it gives a very good contrast to what's happening in the verse. The verse is more gloomy, kind of, lower register, a little more melancholy, right? Serious. Serj here elevates the whole song into feeling a little bit more hopeful and inspiring, like you're just uplifted, right? And I just think that's a cool contrast to have between these two singers. And yeah, Serj is he's not super rhythmic in his singing, like in the verse. The cost vocalist, I'm so sorry, I don't know his name. I need to research it, but he's, he would line up with the jabs like dun 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 dun. Here, Serj is focusing on the melody, the harmonies, and there's so much open space. The drums are kind of in this halftime feel, which gives Serj a lot more prominence in what he's doing and kind of area to explore, I guess, for lack of a better term. But so yeah, it's just so cool, the two different feels between the verse and the chorus. Oh, snipe the pigeon. So that drum break before going into the next verse, so sick. He doesn't rely a lot on toms or like a crazy snare fill. It's just, you know, a few bells on the cymbal, but it stands out so well and gives a great introduction back into the verse. Then you've got that kind of guttural scream or yell or whatever's going on. And that's just a cool touch. It reminds me of the band Carnival, which if you're not familiar with them, band from the early mid 2000s from Australia, mate. That's a bad accent. I'm sorry. But they have a song called Scarabs on their first album that uses that same kind of like guttural scream. And I know a lot of bands probably do it as well, but that's what it reminded me of. And I love making those connections between musicians and kind of styles or techniques that they use in their songs, whether or not they have anything to do with each other. It's just so cool to me. I kind of nerd out making those connections. Like, oh, dude, I've heard that. So, yeah, cool transition. And let's keep it rolling, baby.
Sick. The flights fills the room. Needed to wait for the day. They'll be here soon. We crawl around with the bullets screaming past. Try to get out alive and we'll follow the order and climb into hell.
Back to that offbeat again. He's switching between the two styles of beat. Kind of cool. Oh, sick backflip. Dude, that is just a classic staple fill from El Estadio Siberiano, man. Just in the other songs, he's been a little bit more subdued, where the guitar and the bass has been a lot more prominent in the other songs. Not that they're not, you know, they're prominent here, of course, but like that kind of fill is him totally exploding and leaving nothing behind. And I love how the fill doesn't come in exactly on the one, but it kind of just like delays on, and it builds the anticipation of when the chorus is going to come in, where not quite where you're expecting, but it's just, again, building up that momentum to have the chorus be a lot more impactful. And I know I've been talking a lot about the drums and the vocals, but trust me, in this next section, we'll get into the guitar and the drums. I'll talk more about those, I promise. This is where it gets crazy, baby. Dude, what just happened? This is definitely the most technical song they've released. I know it's only their third song, but just this is why I say it's a little more genty. Is you've got the hard jabs of the chords, of the low chords, right? And then you've got the guitar runs and the bass runs, like the tapping, kind of sometimes in unison, and it's so just everywhere. Like you can't, I don't know. It's just very kind of sporadic, right? It just kind of, you have this really soaring chorus that's just kind of euphoric and very melodic. And then that break, literally like everything like breaks down. It's just like, dun, 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 like staticky. or I guess just not staticky, but like jilted. Super impressive. The guitar work between the drums and between the guitar and the bass, how they're playing off of each other, syncing up, doing those runs, the tapping, those different licks. Like, it's just an impressive break from everything else that's been going on. So I love it. I really do love it. Such a sick section of that song. So let's keep going.
And a mistake to move back, and a mistake to move left, and a mistake to move right. It's a mistake to move forward, and a mistake to move back, a mistake to move left, and a mistake to move right.
Out on the broken land, our time to kill again.
Now this section, when I first heard this section, I'll be honest, I was kind of like, what? Piano? And we're just going to take all that energy and just suck it out, and now we're just boop. I was like, I don't know if I dig this. But now the more I listen to it, see, this is why I didn't want to react to it, but the more I listen to it, the more I'm like, okay, this actually does make sense. Like, I kind of like this. It's a cool, different mood being introduced in the song, and it actually ties into the last chorus. And it reminds me of Sleep Token. I don't know if these guys were inspired by Sleep Token, but it's giving me mad Sleep Token vibes to have cut out and have the piano. So yeah, I don't know. Just thought it was kind of interesting. But yeah, onward.
Marching through hell and sand, when will we see the end? Out on the promised land, for and gone again. Does tonight ever end?
Now this last chorus feels so much more elevated than the previous two choruses. And I love that because there's so many songs where the last chorus is just a copy and paste of the previous choruses. And by that time, you're just like, all right, I've already heard this. Like, I'm done. But this last chorus feels much more elevated because they add in that piano that they introduced in that bridge. And it brings it yet to another level. And I love it when you have that last chorus that feels rewarding. You're like, yes, it's just more intense. It's a better chorus. It's like, I'm glad I listened to this whole song. And so there's resolve at the end, we haven't climaxed yet. It's still going. So that's why I think it's cool. They introduce the piano in that bridge and then they bring it into the last chorus. And I think there's other harmonies and stuff going on too. I'm not totally sure, but the last chorus does feel, again, very elevated and just kind of on a whole nother level. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Just some final thoughts. I love this song because, they're obviously, they're trying to illustrate a message with it. And I think, with the song title, Her Eyes, like, Mother Nature, like, Stop All Wars. I think that's part of the fundraiser that they're doing. But it just kind of shows... I don't know. It's just what is happening in the eyes of, Mother Nature or the earth. What are the people here on earth doing? How are they treating her? There's all the bad and misery going on. There's the good things that happen as well, the excitement. But I just think it's kind of a cool take on it. So, and again, like, whatever your interpretation of it is, that's totally fine. Like, I'd love to know what you think about it, how you feel inspired by it as well. But I just think it's so cool what these guys are doing. I genuinely feel inspired by the music that they're doing, where it's like, man, like, okay, we've got some guys that are still making solid music. I feel like we've hit a low point in music the past few years for whatever reason, just from new artists coming out. But these guys are killing it. And I really want to see what they come out with in the future. I wish they'd release a full album. I think it's cool, the month by month thing, releasing a song, but it's like I'm just getting antsy. I want the album, you know? So yeah, I mean, I don't have too many other thoughts other than check these guys out, put them on your rotation. They're insanely talented, and I really mean that. And I think they're going places. I feel like a mom saying this, but I'm proud of these guys. Really proud of them. So, like and subscribe. Continue this journey with me in some future videos. But again, thank you so much for watching. Peace be the journey, and rock on. Bye.